'Cause I'm gonna be. Still nervous as fuck.
Me too. We're gonna have a great call. Oh, yeah, I'm glad I thought of this. If not a huge deal. I realized during my Lexington call, Cam has the chat way more zoomed in on the left side. Do you know how to do that? Because it's super hard to read. If not, again, not a huge deal. I can squint. I'm blind regardless. Okay, no worries. Yeah, no, like I said, it's all good. I was just wondering. Oh, I got you. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, like I said, no, it's not a big deal.
SFL Nation, what up, though? Welcome to Philadelphia, home of the Cougars, and I tell you what, this game almost did not take place. Fans out there still ruckus, still hung over from the Super Bowl victory they just had over the Chiefs a few days ago, but things settled in, but they almost didn't let this Boston crowd inside the stadium today. Saw them out there trying to get in off the bus and gave them a hard time, but here we are. We settled in, the fans have settled down a bit, and we looking for some action tonight, hosted by these Philadelphia Cougars. They are 2-2, looking to take on the Boston team come in at 1-3 record, trying to get that second win on the notch. Yo, I'm Eddie Gage, and what up, though? Can't wait till y'all this action unfolds tonight. Alongside me in the booth, I got DJ Kilgren. Break it on down for me, man. What do you think is going to happen tonight when these two teams probably win?
You know, Eddie, well, pleasure to be here. First and foremost, glad to be in the booth with you. And last week, both of these teams saw a super heavy pass attack. And, you know, for Philly, that's not too common. This team is really well known, just like their Eagle counterparts, known for pounding the rock. And after a loss, going with that, you know, air raid offense, they kind of expect him to go back to the ground.
Boston receives the ball at about the 18-yard line. Going to break a tackle, get to the outside, to the far side of the screen, and brought down at about the 40-yard line. Solid return here by Boston. Start the game out. That was Joey Hightower on the return.
Yeah, Joey Hightower, he has skyrocketed as far as production goes for this Boston Rebel squad. His first, you know, week or so in the league, he was kind of starting off a little slow, but had a huge game last week, putting up over 100 yards, his most by far this season. I kind of expecting the same, you know, this game.
Line up in the gun, the first play here of the game. Gonna be a draw up the middle. Gonna fight his way forward for 5 yards. Big pickup on the play by Bismarck Wright.
That is a great start for Boston. This team has really struggled out of the gate running the ball. Last week, their two main backs only had 48 yards combined of rushing. Add Bismarck right into that, it was right at about 55.
10-man front. They see you in front of them and unable to get anywhere. In fact, they're going to lose a couple of yards. Going to set up a third down and short.
Yeah, that was Nixon Cooper on the tackle. Had a handful of tackles last week in the loss to San Jose, excuse me. Expecting to see him make a big impact. And in the run game especially, if the Boston team keeps going with it, he's going to be a big part of the defensive plan.
Quads look, going to be a 5-step drop, surveys the defense, and the left-handed quarterback gets the ball out, but it is knocked away, intended for the receiver, but great defense by Philadelphia to force a 3-and-out.
Yeah, great defense. Like you said, that the corner was completely blanketing the receiver there, almost like they ran the route for him. But, I mean, that's just a great first drive for the Cougars and a great way to bounce back after a rough loss last week.
Gonna punt this ball away. It's gonna be fielded about the 6-yard line on the return, right up the middle. Got a penalty on the play. Look like potential face mask, not sure.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You're right. Personal foul too. Gonna be 15 yards added to the play. That's gonna move the ball all the way up to the 32-yard line, to the display, to the dismay of these Boston coaches.
Yeah, not a great start. You know, those guys over there, you know, they don't want to see those early mistakes, and this Boston defense is the pinnacle of their team. Their defensive front especially is the best in the SFLm. They're averaging about 4 sacks a game, so far coming into this game. They have been lethal.
Trooper Wright gonna run a trap play up the middle, only gonna gain about a yard. Tackle on the play by Brown, set up a 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, I mean, kind of expected this from Philly. Just such a heavy run attack. They've been known for it all season. Led by Frank Udon, standing at 6'2", 190 pounds. He is a beast out of their backfield.
3 receivers on the field, and that play's gonna be knocked away. Great defense, one-on-one coverage. Ball's gonna be knocked down, gonna set up a 3rd down and 9. Great defense there by Boston.
Yeah, Dondas Talacarne on the stop there, laying a big hit from the safety spot. And that's what you want out of your strong safety, to be just that, strong. Make those big hits, help out in the run game, and whenever you see a receiver about to catch the ball, hit them as hard as you can and try and get it out of their hands.
4 receivers versus this 4-1 dime. Gonna be a fake. Great fake indeed. And that ball is caught. Gonna move the chains for Philadelphia. Great throw and catch there. They're gonna move the chains. I thought that was gonna be batted away.
Yeah, Eddie, I'm right there with you. Jonathan Kilgore was just staying in front of the defender there, making the great catch in traffic. Jimmy Hatsis was playing some great defense on the tight end there, just not enough. Gave Kilgore just enough room to make the catch and get a few yards after.
Gonna mark this ball on a plus side of the 50, mark it the 42-yard line of Boston. Gonna be another pitch to the tailback, and a pick up about 2 yards on the play. Just digging their dunking and their way down the field here. Frank Udon on the carry.
Yeah, just a slow and steady, methodical pace right now for Philadelphia, but it's working already on the other side of the field, and they're toting the rock so far. Not too many huge runs, but it's working regardless.
Our Wayne Jokers and the right tackle gets pushed back about a yard behind the line of scrimmage, bogging that play up, and it's going to be a 3rd down and 8 here for Philadelphia.
I mean, you're almost guaranteed to see a pass here from Philly, and in that last, long passing scenario, it clearly worked. Let's see if they can again.
Gonna go empty. 5 receivers on the field. Surveys the defense. The quarterback winds back, and that ball is batted away. Lucky it was not intercepted there by Boston. Donis Telecarne with yet another great play on defense.
At Dakota West, they got picked up by this Boston squad in week 2, and they have been playing pretty well last week. Had a pretty rough game, had 4 interceptions in that last one against New York. And I don't know about you, Eddie, but I think if that ball was lofted just a little bit higher,
yeah.
And I know that's a hard ask getting it over, a big safety. Talacarne is 6'2", but if that was a little higher, I'd argue that it could have been 6.
I agree with you. If that ball had just a little bit more air under it, that could have been a catch and run situation. Nonetheless, Boston's going to start this second drive off of the game at their own 11-yard line. Be that it's going to limit the play calling ability here, backed up this far in their own end. They're going to come out with 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, tailback directly behind the quarterback. Going to hand this ball off in a trap, up the middle. Going to call it a game back, maybe a half a yard there on the carry is the Northwest.
Philly's just doing a great job stopping the runs for not a lot, and Boston has been held to that for most of their games, but I mean, they kind of have to run the ball being this close to the end zone. Might see a few more passes as they get a little bit farther away.
They shoot the toss out there to the right, and it goes absolutely nowhere. Jacob Brewer tackled for about a loss of about a yard. It's going to set up 3rd down and 11 at their own 9-yard line.
Man, L.J. Hobbs just completely shredded that block. Didn't even have a second of time. It's like the pitch was there, and immediately the defender was already wrapped around the hips of the back, dragging them down. That's a great play there from the defensive end.
Quaz look counted by a 4-1 dime. 1 linebacker on the field. It's going to be a 5-step drop. The left-handed quarterback surveys the field, finds nothing. Trying to scramble for a 1st down, and he's going to be just short. It looked like a horse collar tackle there on the play, but nonetheless going to be 4th and inches.
Oh, so close. Dakota West just a few inches away. Dakota West, I mean, you're sliding like that. I don't know about you, Eddie, but Dakota West is 6'8". If you dive maybe instead of slide, I think you get that yardage. But nonetheless, staying safe. I like the slide, especially that close to their own end zone. Just short. Very unfortunate for Boston.
So now Philadelphia's going to start their drive with great starting field position over here at their own 43-yard line. Let's see if they can take advantage of this starting field position here. Mike calling out the signals. Going to be a 5-step drop. Going to dump this ball out to the flat. Easy pitch and catch for a nice gain of about 10 yards on the carry. Frank Udon getting active here early on for Philadelphia's offense.
Yeah, there you go. I really like that play call. Putting a receiver on that side of the field, try and, pull the coverage away, and it worked to a T. Frank Udon's had a little bit of trouble getting started in the backfield, so what better way to get him started by getting him plenty of open field to run like that?
Looks like a bunch set, but they're lined in tight to the right tackle. Going to be a handoff to the weak side of the field, right up the gut for a gain of about 8 yards on the carry. Rashawn Williams getting his first action of the day.
Yeah, it's a nice run there and some great blocking by that front 5 of Philadelphia. A huge lane to run there for Rashawn Williams.
The 6'3" quarterback looking over the defense. Going to change the protection, it looks like, against his 4-3 front. Taking this time, going to get this ball to the weak side and gain absolutely fights for about a gain of 2 yards there on the carry is Frank Udon.
No, this is kind of a situation of unstoppable force and immovable object, right? This Boston front seven is just a force to be reckoned with, and Frank Udon has been really hard to stop in the weeks that they have prioritized the run game around him. It's going to be really fun to watch and see who gets the win in that regard.
3rd down and 1, and they're going to fall just short of the first down marker. So Boston, despite this field position, looks like they're doing a good job. But hold on, Boston's quarterback is still in the field. They're going to challenge this play.
Yeah, I mean,
Philadelphia.
They sent out the quarterback, but they challenged it. So I think they knew they were challenging that all the way.
At first glance, it looks like they are indeed short of the sticks, though, DJ.
Yeah, I agree with you. Hopefully we get to see a better look. Williams just shoving along his big offensive lineman. I don't know. That's close.
Yeah, he actually fell on top of the imaginary yellow line there.
I think you're right, Eddie. I think he's just a smidge short.
Yeah.
4th and
play does stand.
Yeah. Wasting a timeout. But I don't hate the challenge. I really don't.
The challenge. It was close. And considering it's the first half, it's no harm, no foul. But their quarterback still is on the field, though. So.
Yeah, I love the risk here going for it where you're at.
I love the confidence that the coordinator is showing too. Strong eye Jack's gonna be a toss out to that strong side. They're gonna be stopped short. Wow! You want to talk about a play? You want to get to the pros, to the next level? Go out there and show these coaches, these scouts what you can do? That is exactly how it's done right there. My goodness, what a play.
That is right, Eddie. That is the type of fight and fury it takes. I don't know about you, but seeing that play develop, I for sure thought they were getting the first down. I thought one of those two blockers was going to get to Morgan Brown and make sure that the runner had plenty of room to run, but Morgan Brown just slipped right by him and made a great open field tackle to save the drive for that Boston defense.
A-Strip's going to send a tight end in motion to the far side of the field. Going to be a toss out to the strong side. Nifty running, nice block out there in front. Going to pick up about 4 yards on that play. Lenoir West with the carry.
Yeah, that was just a nice little shifty run. A lot of cuts, a lot of, just jukes trying to get away from everybody and getting a short little gain. That's a nice way to start the drive. Just got to keep that momentum going.
Philadelphia continues to pack the paint here. Going to get that ball out to the flat. Oh, wow, and great job by my man Bismarck Wright. Going to fall just short of the first down marker.
Yeah, Mr. Wright. I mean, that's a great way to go against the, like you said, packing the paint that Philadelphia is doing right now. Just throw those little flats and let your runners do the work from there. And clearly they're getting a lot of yardage, just not able to get it past that yard to gain.
8-man box on 3rd and inches, and Boston is just able to pick up the first down. Lenoir West with the carry.
Yeah, this Philadelphia defense is just packing the box like a professional moving crew right now. So many bodies in the box, and clearly it's the right game plan because they're running the ball, just not able to stop them.
Gonna go shotgun here. Bismarck Wright gets the carry on the delay, picks up about 5 yards. I love this kid, Bismarck Wright. He's active both on and off the field, and he also helps the team. There's on the Scorpions, that is, doing stats for us. Wonderful guy to have in the locker room.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a thing to teach all these young guys in the minors that are trying to make their way up. Help in any way you can. It is only going to help you grow in the league and get into a better place.
Counter play, but unfortunately did not follow her blockers, and Lenoir West gets tackled for a loss of 2.
Yeah, Aaron Collins, who had a really big week last week, was one of the leaders in tackles for this Philadelphia team, had himself 8 with a very nice tackle in the backfield there.
4-1 down, gonna blitz the safety. Look out, get the pass out, and that ball is batted away, intended for the receiver, but great defense here by Philadelphia here early on, gonna force another punt.
Yeah, that's just a tough one there for Boston. A lot of pressure from the side there. I mean, you said at the beginning of that play, the defensive back was being brought down, and a few more seconds, and Dakota West would have been on their back, but able to get the ball out, but just a great...
Fumble.
Oh, goodness!
recovered by Boston. Thank goodness for you if you're a Boston fan, because that could have gotten ugly because Philadelphia had 3 players surrounding the ball.
Oh yeah, that. Wow. Yeah. Touchdowns coming from the pass.
Same set. Our Joker's looking on a delay. Going to get this ball down inside the 5. Lenore West this time has a bit more success. Going to be 3rd down and goal at about the 4-yard line.
Oh, just a rough play there, getting stopped short. I'm seeing some messages that maybe our audio cut out.
I hope not, because the fans are missing a treat if that's the case for all our
They
radio
are.
listeners. 3rd down and goal. Shotgun looking to send a tight end in motion out to the far right, the near side of the field. Surveys the defense, gets the ball out quick, and that ball is incomplete. Great job by this Philadelphia defense, despite continuing to be put in harm's way with their offense. They come up with a big deflection there on 3rd down. That was Miranda Dumas there on a deflection.
Yeah, just completely read that hitch route to a T. It's almost like, they're watching the film out there. She knew exactly what was coming. She just sat there right in front of where he was, and the quarterback went to it anyway. Just batted down, holding them to 3. After a turnover, Philadelphia defense, way to hold and turn that into an 11-play drive. Wow, that's impressive.
That's definitely a win for the defense, considering this drive started on their own 11-yard line.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, Eddie, this Boston squad last week, they probably got their butt chewed after last week's performance, because their special teams unit was looking rough. They had 2 fumbles in the special teams department on different returns, and clearly they got some fire under them, because going into that punt, they forced a fumble, and looks like they're here to play.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure the special teams coordinator, as well as the head coach, has something to say with them about that loss in the locker room, and again in practice this week leading up to this game. So Philadelphia with yet another chance to get some points in the goal here in the first quarter. 18 seconds left in this quarter. Ball going to start on their own 26-yard line. I spread, first time we've seen this look today out of them. Going to be a 5-step drop. Gets the ball out quick and finds his man downfield for a 1st down. Going to be marked at about the 34-yard line. Great job of Philadelphia starting this drive out. That was Jonathan Kilgore with the reception.
Yeah, another catch there for Kilgore. We saw him get hit on the little corner route earlier. Now they're hitting him over the middle, getting 52 receiving yards, or passing yards, excuse me, for Skmizmiak on the day. And Jonathan Kilgore being a huge part of that so far.
And that's going to be the end of a long first quarter here in Philadelphia. Trying to keep that momentum going here in the second quarter is Philadelphia. Looking a bit off that last completed pass. Going to come up with 5 wide receivers against this 4-1 dime look. Going to be a 5-step drop. Right-handed quarterback gets the ball out very quick, and that ball is completed. Wow, great catch. Despite the traffic, Jamar Shelton comes up with a big first down.
Yeah, Mr. Shelton with a huge catch there, going back-to-back plays to throws in similar spots. You know, the one to Kilgore was kind of right up that same seam as well. Shelton making almost the same exact catch for another huge gain. Had himself a really good, week last week, getting 56 yards and a touchdown. Hope to see if you can carry that momentum into this game in the receiving game.
Doubles left with the tailback off to the quarterback's left side. Another quick pass, and
Oh,
wow, that time unable to bring the ball in as the defense did a great job. And I'll tell you what, making a name for himself here in his first half so far has been Morgan Brown. He's been all over the field.
oh, for sure. Had that huge stop earlier, making it 4th and inches for, or no, excuse me, stopping them on 4th down is what it was. Making that huge play earlier, and another one there. Just a huge part of this defense so far, like you said.
Triple right, that ball can be pitched and caught. Another reception for this Philadelphia squad, and they are having their most success here to date so far on this drive here.
Yeah, they absolutely are. Pass game is just kind of clicking on all cylinders right now. And I don't know about everyone else watching, but I certainly thought after the struggles last week in a pass-first offense compared to the success they had running the ball, I certainly thought they'd go back to a run-heavy look. But right now, the pass game's working.
Trap right up the middle on the strong side of the field. Going to be a nice carry for 5 yards here early on. Frank Udon with yet another carry.
Yeah, and another solid run, getting half the yards to gain in just one play. Just got to keep those sorts of plays going, and you'll stay ahead of the sticks all night.
Odd Joker's look just outside of the 20. Going to be a nice run, and look at him carry a defender for an additional 4 yards. You want to talk about a free ride at the ferry there, free of charge. Great run right up the gut for about 9 yards.
Yeah, that was some great ball carrier vision. There was not a very big hole to run through at all, but Rashawn Williams was able to slip through it as his offensive linemen were falling and get a huge gain there. Great running from this backfield of Philadelphia.
Bunch look versus cover 12. Going to be a pitch out to the left. Not going to gain much. They're going to mark it a gain of a yard there. Frank Udon.
Dunking on him on the tackle after the very short game. And I'll tell you what, Eddie, the two on-ems on this defensive side of the ball for Boston are some of the best in the entire league, I'll tell you what.
Wow, strong arm and got it over the defender's head, but unable to bring it in, unfortunately for them, was Jonathan Kilgore. That was a strong throw by the young quarterback.
Yeah, it was, and just exactly where it needed to be, but it's just a situation of trying to make a very difficult catch while a defender is basically piggybacking on you, right? I mean, it's going to be hard regardless, especially having to make such a catch, being covered like that, and make sure your feet are in bounds. There's a lot going on that sort of play.
Mike Smizmiak making a name for himself with that arm. Going to be play action. Going to be another strong throw over the middle, and this one is completed to his receiver. Philadelphia strikes first with their first touchdown of the game. This one to Tony Bonnetz.
Yeah, Toby Bonnet's getting the huge reception there, scoring for Philadelphia. That is a great way to bounce back after such a crucial error that let Boston get those 3 points up on that fumble. But they bounced back like it never happened. They drove down the field really well and just put the stamp on it with that pitch and catch to end the drive.
Great pitch and catch indeed, and Mike has put on a show in terms of quarterback arm strength. Those last two passes, although the first one wasn't completed, that was some tremendous arm strength by the young man.
Yeah, and it's got to be good to see from the Philly coaching squad. They threw him a lot last week, had 44 passes on 61% completion, had a decent game, but it was really the turnovers that got him. Threw 3 interceptions to only 2 touchdowns and got dragged down for 2 sacks. It's not a terrible performance, especially with 343 yards, but you kind of just want to see those small mistakes like that fumble we saw earlier be cut down to a minimum.
Nice return by Boston. Going to be marked at the 29-yard line. It was 7 minutes and 36 seconds left in this first half. there's no better time than now to deliver their first touchdown of the day. Going to line up in a gun split pro, tight end to the quarterback's right. Going to drop back and gets the ball out to his big tight end for wow. Stiffs a guy out of bounds. And wow, look at the guns on that guy. No wonder he's able to do such damage to him. Tight end Django West says, "Get off me, young man."
Yeah, that is a big dude, 260 pounds of just pure aggression. Django West delivering a brutal stiff arm there, like you said. Goodness gracious.
Look at the young man fight up the middle. Excuse me, Lenore West fight up the middle. Philadelphia had about 8 guys there on the line of scrimmage, and Boston was not deterred. They decided to run the ball anyway.
Yeah, it's just so impressive. Philadelphia, more often than not, is hitting the runner at the line of scrimmage, and they keep turning it into positive yards.
Jacob Brewer on the carry there picks up 2. 2nd down and 8. Look at Dakota West standing there in the pocket, just looking so confident. Our jokers look 2 backs behind them.
Looks like they've been there a million times.
Oh wow, great throw in traffic. Gets the ball out to his big tight end, gonna set up a 3rd down and inch. That was a nice throw by the quarterback.
It really was. I mean, to the naked eye, it might look like a little bit of inaccuracy, but if you look a little deeper, kind of led the pass away from the defender that was there, and that was a perfect throw, like you said, Eddie. Just to the only spot that anybody could reach it, in the tight end, Mike Connect.
I took us look 3rd and inches. Got to have it here. Going to send a fullback in motion. Probably going to run it that way. They do. Off the give to the left and going to pick up that 1st down. Lenore West putting a lot of trust in her to pick up the 1st down, and she did just that.
Yeah, they're feeding her the rock so far, and that's just a typical short yard to gain play, motioning over the big body to help in the blocking game, and it worked there to a T.
4-4 defense, drop back, and wide open right down the middle of the field is a big tight end who ran past everybody. Gonna score the first touchdown of the day for Boston. Mike Connect with the touchdown.
Boston coming back, swinging. Mike Connect, how do you leave such a big target that wide open? It's like he was in quarantine. No one within a 5-yard radius of him, and the linebacker just trying to chase him down after another costly mistake for Philadelphia.
Another costly mistake indeed. I'm not sure how you missed the tight end running straight down the middle of the field, but I tell you what, I got a message from Keith Wheeler, who told his team, despite after that loss last week, to trust the process. They know what they're doing. They're out there putting in the work. Just trust us as we trust in you. And we're going to find a way to get a victory. And that touchdown right there just proves that process that they're referring to.
Yeah, I mean, Boston kind of stealing the key catchphrase from Philadelphia, the process. But I'm trusted indeed. It's clearly working.
So Philadelphia gets a nice return out here past the 35. Going to mark them down at the 36-yard line. 5:26 left in this first half. After Philadelphia struck and scored very quickly there in a span of about 2 minutes. Going to set up Boston here. Philadelphia here to try to revenge that loss. That was the first time we've seen this look from Philadelphia today. Going to be a draw. The give right up the middle for a gain of about 5 yards. Thought they picked up 6, but hey, I guess the referee saw it different.
Yeah, just a solid run, and that was just a great fake. Like, the draw is just such a great way to open up running lanes, and we saw it right there. Every single linebacker for Boston completely bit and was trying to look for their assignment in the pass game, but it was a run all along, and it worked.
Nice pitch and catch there to the receiver. That's tight end Jonathan Kilgore on the reception. Just taking what the defense gives you.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Eddie, but I am loving the tight end heavy passing this game. Mike Connect had that huge touchdown. Django West has been involved, and Jonathan Kilgore has had 3 really big catches.
Doubles left look, and They just continue to run the ball right up the A gap. Why not? If it's not broke, don't bother trying to fix it.
Absolutely. And they're getting solid yardage every time. And if you can keep doing it, like you said, don't try and fix it. Right on the 50.
Speaking of tight ends, strong eye Jacks, 3 tight ends on the field, 2 of them to his left. Going to toss it out that way. Going to pick up, still in his feet, a gain of about 3 yards for Philadelphia. Going to set up a 3rd down and 4. Rashawn Williams with his 2nd carry today.
Yeah, big Scott Calvin was the pulling offensive lineman there, getting in front of Rashawn Williams and laying a really good block as Rashawn Williams buried his shoulder into his back, just gaining a few more.
3 receivers on the field, and great pass. Again, just taking what the defense gives you. Not forcing the ball downfield. The receiver got to the sticks, threw it out to him, and Jonathan Kilgore with his 2nd catch of this drive.
Yeah, and a very athletic play for a tight end. Diving, making the catch right before the ball hits the ground, and so far, Eddie, he is such a reliable target for them this game in those 3rd and short or long scenarios, really any 3rd down.
Yes. The give right up the middle, Frank Udon bounces off 2 defenders, works his way all the way down to just short, just shy of the SFL red zone. Gonna be marked about the 22-yard line. And I'll tell you what, Frank Udon, he's only 6'2", 190, but he dons number 49. And for whatever reason, when I think of that number, I think of a fullback or a big bruising tailback. But Frank Udon, he didn't get that memo. He wanted 49, and they gave it to him.
No, I definitely understand. You think that number, you just think tough, angry running, and
yeah,
that was a nice display of it.
It was.
Bouncing off tacklers like a pinball.
Gonna be a rollout to the left and finds his man. And this Philadelphia offense is on fire here. This last drive of the game in the first half of them.
Yeah, going back to that corner route that worked with Kilgore earlier, and it was to Ladam McBrownski, who had a very solid week last week, getting themselves 82 yards, and they're just inching and inching closer, finally inside the 10.
3-step drop, surveys the defense. Oh, that ball is batted away. I believe that was about number 20 of Boston. It was. Great job on the deflection because that looked like a sure completion, but Dante Telecarne said, sir, not on my watch.
Yeah, I was kind of confused of what happened there, but Telecarne must have read it as it was coming off, jumped up, and made a nice play with, like you said, would have been a surefire completion.
Doubles look, 3 wide receivers of the ball right down the field. Wide open receiver down the middle of the field. Jonathan Kilgore with his 3rd reception of this drive. This one goes for 6.
Go and kill him, then Kilgore. Running right past the linebacker. Linebacker had no idea what was going on. Just leaving the tight end wide open again. My goodness, just great tight end play. And great passes from Mike Skamizniak.
Yeah.
And he is bouncing back exactly like we said he would need to in this game.
Both offenses started out very slow out of the gate with continuous 3-and-outs and punts. The punters were earning their cash, their salary for the week, but these past couple of drives, both of these offenses have woken up.
They really have. They're doing a great job. And for Philadelphia, it's just, they're kind of, it's a really nice mix because they've kind of varied away from the run game more than usual because it's usually just run. At least it was in the first 3 weeks, but now they're doing a really good job of letting their running game open up the passing. I mean, we're clearly seeing their running game getting very solid yardage every time, and at the end of that drive, opened up the passing lanes perfectly.
Yes, so here we are, 2:19 left in this first half. Let's see how aggressive Boston gets with their offense to close out this first half. Going to start the ball out on the 30-yard line. Ace trips formation, 2 tight ends on the field. We're going to send one of them in motion out to the near side of the field. 3-step drop, surveys the defense, gets it all out to the far side of the field. That ball is batted away. Great job by the defense as they were looking for number 13, Joey Hightower, but bang, bang play, going to set up a 2nd down and 10.
You know, that's a great coverage, but that is not usually one that you see Joey Hightower drop. Eddie, he is one of those guys that just always sort of makes that catch in traffic. One of those tough physical receivers that can make any catch in contact, just not able to hold on to it there.
Speaking of holding on to it, not only does he hold on to it, but he makes a reception, shakes out the defender, going to run uncontested about 70 yards into the end zone. Booked that one on SportsCenter. Curtis Friesen with a spectacular play.
Curtis Friesen, as I always say, Friesen time on that one. Makes the broken tackle right off of the catch, and that play was almost entirely made by a great pass and catch, but right behind the catch was a tremendous block by one of the other receivers. And after that catch, I surely thought that another defender was going to come make the catch. I didn't think there was going to be that much room to run, but clearly Curtis Friesen completely took advantage of the great blocking from another one of his receivers and took that to the crib.
70-yard touchdown reception for Boston as the scoring just continues to close out this first half. We didn't see any of this kind of activity here in the first quarter, but here late in the second, it's been fireworks.
It absolutely has. They have just jolted the intensity and energy of the game up to an 11.
Great return, going to be brought down at about the 42-yard line. I'm being told that touchdown reception was brought in by the brother of SFLm Commissioner Alex West.
Oh, Curtis Friesen. Is that? Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Very good to know. And a great play did he make.
Curtis Friesen to Arizona confirmed. They're going to hit the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left in this first half. Can we get another score on the scoreboard before this one is closed out? Let's find out. Philadelphia going to get this ball. Again, great starting field position. Plenty of time. Five wide receivers on the field. They're going to counter with 2 linebackers. One of them is playing slot corner. Going to be a big 5-step drop. Fakes the ball, going to start to run with it. Be careful, young man. Slides down and picks up a gain of about 6 yards.
Wow. I mean, great concentration and able to read the pocket as it's collapsing, get out of there and get a lot of yards. I will say, this Philadelphia offensive line is doing such a good job of stopping such a dominant defensive line that is Boston.
Going to be a give out to the left side and continuing to put in work is Frank Udon. And I tell you what, if he didn't have eyes on him before this game, he definitely does now because he's been putting on a running back clinic here.
Yeah, just continuing such a great season. He has been all over the field anytime he touches it.
5-step drop gets to, that ball is batted away like a sure completion, but Boston was not having any of that. Great job by Duncan Ono.
Yeah, that one it looked like it was going to be picked and gone the other way, but batting it down away from the receiver, just as good in that scenario. Just got to keep up that momentum on the defensive side.
Trooper Wright going to send the receiver in motion. That's LaDam Rabrowski, who made a couple of plays earlier on the last drive. 3-step drop. Gets the ball out to his left, and that ball is going to be caught and brought down after a gain of about 2 yards. But I tell you what, if he looks over to his right, he had LaDam open for a significant gain.
I did see that. Yeah, just, it's kind of one of those things where you have that person you want to throw to, you have the play put around one person, and you kind of just feel obligated to get it to them. But it's one of those things you learn over time. You got to go through your reads, see if you can find someone open in there. Unfortunately, missed an open shot.
Week 2 signing Jamar goes in motion. 3rd down, and that ball is batted away and nearly intercepted by Boston, who did a great job of responding here on this drive, closing out this first half, prohibiting Boston, Philadelphia putting more points up on the board.
Yeah, I mean, who else?
But look
no further.
Here they're going for it on 4th down and 7.
Oh, I love it.
Wow. You want to talk about aggressive trips? Look. Versus this down D is going to be play action, going to roll out to the near side, gets the ball out, and that ball is caught. Are you serious? Going to go no huddle here after the big completion there by Philadelphia. Tony Bennett with the reception. Play action yet again. This time he drops straight back, and that ball is picked off. Are you serious? Number 96, the big man with the interception, brings the ball back down. Going to be marked at the 19-yard line. Duncan Odom, who made a great play early in the drive, gets the interception here, DJ.
Wow, I am at a shock, Eddie. Boston gets the big stop on third down, puts him into a fourth down scenario. Philadelphia says, we don't care. They get the huge first down. They hurry it up, and Boston's like, you know what? We're not doing this. We stopped you on fourth down. We're getting this ball back. And we saw it there. Duncan on him. A huge interception in the red zone. And just, those are the type of plays that show you why this team has a shot in this game.
Dakota West and his offense back out in the field. Oh, and wide open again. Are you serious? Stumbling down the field. Can he get there? Does he have the gas in the tank? He's going to cut up, and he's going to get into the end zone for a touchdown. Oh, my goodness. Someone will call up ESPN because Boston is putting on a show tonight.
My goodness. Fire those cannons in celebration after a huge play for Boston. Again, how do you leave him wide open? Mike Kleinecht again with a huge touchdown reception for Boston. Somebody on Philadelphia, if not more than just one person, is pulling their hair out right now. Not even the end of the first half. And Mr. Kleinecht already with 134 yards.
All in one play after the big interception by Boston. Got them the ball back when it looked like Philadelphia was about to score. And sometimes it just comes down to that. It's a game within a game. And sometimes it's just 2 or 3 plays that can dictate the decision or the outcome of a game. Boston gonna get this ball in pretty good field position. And there's a flag down. Look out. This ball is gonna be brought down at about the 46-yard line. But hold that thought just a moment. Let's see what this is. It's gonna be a personal foul, a 15-yard push in the back penalty on Boston that's gonna negate their return.
Wow, that's rough because it was such a nice return. And I mean, you probably, that's just blatant. That's just pulling the pin and letting your frustration go. And after such a nice return and after mistake after mistake right now for Philadelphia, you gotta hold off on those.
A mistake indeed, because they could have potentially even had time to score a field goal with that field position. But now they're gonna be backed up to their own 25-yard line. Triple right, gonna get the ball out quick after 3-step drop. He fumbles the ball and is picked up, thankfully, by offensive linemen, because that could have gotten really ugly here for Philadelphia to close out this first half.
Yeah, what was that offensive lineman doing all the way up there? That was a good chunk of yardage down the field, but the big old lineman makes his way down there, and thankfully he was there, gets the big fumble recovery, and at least Philadelphia now still has a chance to get some points.
Gonna be a rollout, gonna be caught by number 18, gonna be knocked a yard short. That's gonna end this first half. A crazy ending. Serious barrage of points for the last 5-6 minutes or so in the first half. And we're gonna go into the halftime break with a very competitive contest. But wow, Boston pulled away from things with a crazy chain of events here to close up the first half.
Yeah, it's so crazy how fast a game can change. One moment you go from Philadelphia converting on a 4th and 7, about to get more points on the board. They're in the hurry-up offense to, oh no, Boston turned the ball over. It's their first play of the drive, and oh no, an 80-yard touchdown to the tight end. It's just such a crazy game, and that is one part of why I love calling these SFLm games so much, Eddie. It's just people proving what they can do in the league, making a name for themselves in crazy games just like this.
Dakota West finishes that first half 7 of 11, a 6'8" quarterback. I tell you what, might be my MVP of that first half.
Yeah, him or Kleinecht. Got to be one of them. They've been one in the same. Perfect, both of them so far.
So Philadelphia's going to get this ball first here to start the second half. looking to make amends for the ending of that first half. Gonna bring the ball in around the 4-yard line. Gonna be returned up and makes a couple of deflections miss. And wow, great return. Gonna be marked down at about the 39-yard line is Benitz.
There we go. There we go. Good start. They get the yards from that return penalty earlier, and they're about at the just around the same yardage they would have been if they didn't get that penalty. And now they have plenty more room to work with. I mean, a lot more time on the clock, a few extra yardage, 14 more yards than where they started at the end of that first half. And you just got to cut the mistakes, get back into the game, and get some points on the board.
Trying to get it all in one play right here. Going to come out 5 wide with a tight end to his left. Takes with and that ball is dropped, unfortunately, as they had something brewing because there wasn't a defender within 10 yards of the receiver there looking for Jonathan Kilgore.
Yeah, I went back to Kilgore, it would have been huge if it was able to succeed, but wasn't. And Mike Skamizniak, you just got to, this Boston defense is no joke. They're a great unit all around. You just got to really work with what you can get.
Gonna line up, spread the defense out wide and run the ball right up the middle, attacking them where they're weak at, but unfortunately for them, only able to pick up 4 yards. Gonna set up a 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, already getting him into 3rd down, and if I'm Boston, I'm watching Jonathan Kilgore. The majority of their 3rd downs thus far have gone to Mr. Kilgore. Let's see if they do it again.
5-step drop, 3 receivers off to his right, surveys the defense, and unable to bring the ball in on 3rd down and long, but you can't necessarily blame him. That ball was headed for his tailback, Rashawn Williams. He's not used to bringing in balls down the field vertically like that.
Definitely not. Gets a lot of his reps in between Udon's reps and just not able to haul that one in, but I like it. Going for a bigger shot on 3rd down, trying to flip field position. It's not a bad play call, just didn't work out in the end.
Gonna get this punt away. It's gonna be brought in at about the 25-yard line, tackled and brought down. Wow, that's a generous spot. They're gonna mark it to 30. I didn't think it was nowhere near that, but nonetheless, gonna be 1st and goal here for Boston.
Man, it's just, if you're Philadelphia, you got to make a stop. You cannot let this Boston lead pull away. And, if you look at these records, it might seem that maybe Philly has the advantage, as, the record would dictate. But Boston's one win on the season was against this Philadelphia squad.
Gun split pro going to be a delay. Up the middle is Bismarck right, and he gains absolutely nothing. 2nd down and 10.
Not much room at all. Dakota West, they have really, really done a good job of finding the open targets and mixing in the run a little bit when they have to, but let's see if they can keep it going. Oh!
Wow, how that pass was completed, I have no idea, because Dakota West got absolutely drilled the second she let that ball go, but somehow finds a big tight end for a pickup of 4.
Yeah, they're a lot braver than me, Eddie. I don't know about you, but I would have threw that ball away and ran off screaming if I saw a big defender running at me like that.
Shotgun, that ball is, almost caught but dropped. It was knocked away. Joey Hightower, the recipient of that pass, but unable to bring it in.
So close. If that one would have been completed, Eddie, I don't know. That would have took a surgical needle and scalp to get that one in, and almost did.
So Philadelphia's defense done their job.
They
Gonna
did.
kick it back to their offense, trying to get something going here. Going to be fielded at about the 18. On the return, nicely the return gets it marked down at about the 31-yard line. Going to start Philadelphia offense right there.
Yeah, and now, you get the ball back. The defense did its part. And besides the big plays, they really have been doing their part. It's just they're letting huge plays go, and you really can't have that. Because other than that, they've been doing great.
They have, I agree. It's just been that 4-4 bear look that they got to get cleaned up.
Oh, yeah.
Triple right, including a tight end to the quarterback's left. Gonna send a man in motion. Surveying the defense. It's gonna be a 3-step draw, get the ball out quick. to Frank Udon, and that's the second time they ran this play today. It has not worked yet.
Yeah, and it's not a bad concept in theory. You move Ladam McBrownski, excuse me,
Yes.
that's kind of a tongue tie, but move him in motion, try and get the defenders upfield and clear up room to get a couple yards after the flat, but just not working.
Sends the back in motion, and it's now 4 receivers off to the quarterback's right. 5-step drop, gets the ball out very quick, and that
Ooh.
ball is batted away and nearly intercepted there by Boston. Great job on the deflection by Hudson Cruz.
Yeah, the Cruz missile cruises in there to make the big deflection. If he wasn't there, that surely would have been 6 for Philadelphia, but he was. He's their final line of defense, and he makes the big stop.
3rd down and 11 here. Not a situation you want to be in because you know those defensive linemen are putting their ears back, ignoring the run and heading straight to the quarterback. 4-1 dime look, and we cover 12 play action. No one's falling for that. Rolls out to his right, and that ball is completed for a first down, a gain of about 16 yards. Great job by Philadelphia. Executed Jamar Shelton with the pickup.
Yeah, so much time to pass for Skmizniak. And he rolled out of the pocket as the play designed, but if he would have stayed in the pocket, he would have been perfectly fine. Philadelphia is really showing that maybe there's a few kinks in the armor of this Boston front seven, because before this game, they have been nothing short of unstoppable.
Gonna be a draw up the middle as Frank Udon, and they are really starting to hone down on this running game after he had a couple of exciting moments there in the first half.
Yeah, and dunking on him again with a big play. He's usually their guy that's patrolling over the middle, just such a big body in the middle of the field. Great in the run game, great in the pass game, just an all-around field general for them.
Strong eye spread, run a strong outside zone, and that ball is going absolutely nowhere as Boston is doing a great job here in the second half defending the run game.
Yeah, I guess one Onum makes a play, the other one's gotta match it. And Landon Onum last week was really a big breakout week for him. Hasn't really been able to put his mark in this one as much as last week with a 3-sack performance last week, but hoping to see more production from him later in this game.
Gonna send Frank in motion, 4 receivers to his side.
Oh,
Faked it, ran out of time, and goes down. Down goes the quarterback as Boston's defense holds yet again. May West with the sack.
there it is. May West, one of the best on this front four, gets in there, makes the big play, and I guess I should have kept my mouth shut about them not having a sack, because clearly they wanted to show me what's what. And if they would have went the whole game without one, I would have been shocked.
Attempting to pin him deep, this ball to get it marked at about the 25-yard line. Boston with another chance to add on to this lead.
Yeah, it's just kind of a stalemate right now. Both offenses not really able to get anything going, but if it's going to be anyone, I'm sure we'll see some huge play come from Boston, but Philadelphia so far in the half has been very, very stout on defense.
Ace Tripp's going to send a man in motion for Boston. That's Curtis Friesen, who we seen make that fantastic play earlier in the first half. Big 5-step drop, going to put the ball out again. Are you serious? Cue up the highlight reel. The only question is, can he get to the end zone? He's going to be brought down at about the 10-yard line. And any time that Philadelphia came out in this 4-4 defense, Baltimore is making them pay deep over the middle.
Wow. I mean, again to Kleinecht, over the middle, a huge play again for their tight end. Boston and their offensive coordinator, Frank Doom, really sat down this week, watched film, made a game plan that would work. And you're seeing it right there, attacking the weak spot of the defense. Already have 200 on the day for Mike Kleinecht.
65 of those 200 yards came on that last play. First down, 3-step drop. A spectacular. They're going to mark him just short of the goal line. I thought he got in was Curtis Friesen, but they're going to mark him at about the 1-inch yard.
I thought so too, and if I was a ref, and I would be too amazed by that catch. One-handed.
Left-handed too.
Yeah, goodness gracious. I don't know about you. It surely looked like he was in. It wouldn't surprise me. Well, I guess we don't see a challenge, but maybe the knee was down. You know, I'm not the ref, it's not my call, but 4 plays to get it in the end zone, I think they can do it.
Our Joker set here, mano a mano versus the goal line defense, and he's going to dive into the end zone is Lenore West to extend this lead for Boston.
Yep, and she is gonna get hers, getting a touchdown there, and didn't even need the 4 plays, getting it on the first one, able to punch it in for 6, breaking a huge tackle, and that was a really nice play there by 66, able to get into the backfield. Michael Percoco met her there, just not able to bring her down, diving over the end zone, and just another 6 and another huge play leading them into the red zone.
31-0. Boston has a 17-point lead, and if Philadelphia is going to get back into this game, it has to start here with this next drive.
It really does. You can't keep letting Boston get away with it. And on the defensive side of the ball, it's a little bit too late for halftime adjustments, but just gotta, if you're the defensive coordinator for Philly, you know what's coming. They keep going to it. They found that kink in your armor, that up the middle pass to the tight end. He's open every time in that look. You said it, that 4-4. Just really every time he's there, gets a lot of open room, and you just have to stop it.
Toby Bennett returns this ball out to the 30-yard line, and at this point, there has to be a sense of urgency with Philadelphia's offense.
Yeah, it has to be. You cannot take a slow approach, and I mean the way they've been playing, they've been able to, at least they were able to pass pretty well in that first half, and they can run it when they need to. They have the ability to make this comeback. They just got to put it in motion.
Time is ticking out, and that ball is unable to be brought in. Tried to jump up high, unable to bring it in one-handed with Shelton. That ball's a little bit high for him.
Oh my god, I gotta point this out, and I don't know if it was, I don't know what happened, but I might have seen the greatest block I've ever seen on that right side. It looked like they launched him in the air. If you can go back and watch that one, my goodness. The defender either jumped and got shoved or got completely, choke slammed like the Undertaker, but my gosh, that was a brutal hit.
Doubles left, and that ball is caught. Big first down, and you want to talk about just what Philadelphia needed, just what the doctor ordered. Busters with a big first down reception over the outstretched hands of the defense.
Yeah, some more tight end play. Goose Busters finally getting involved. Had himself a solid week last week, had a touchdown to his name, and getting involved there, getting a decent bit of yards. And it's funny, more often than not, Goose Busters gets the majority of the work over Jonathan Kilgore this week. It seems that, the rhetoric might have flipped for him.
Someone put that on a t-shirt. Who you gonna call? Goose Busters. Drive up the middle on a delay, but Boston's defense was not fooled. Tackles for a loss of about a half a yard, and guess who it was on the play? Morgan Brown again.
Yeah,
what can Brown do for you?
Exactly, and lay big hits is certainly something he can do for you, as he has been all night.
Strong eye spread, off balance throw, and that ball is incomplete. But I tell you what, they're gonna get it bailed out by what I think is a horrific call of pass interference, because that ball had no chance of being completed.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Not a chance to get completed. I'd like to see the contact.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, Eddie, I gotta agree with you there. That the Zebras, maybe they got a parlay going or something, but I think I know what it is. I think they sent him in from Kansas City, but but
you might be on to something with that one though. Doubles look, three wide receivers and a tight end. They're gonna send a man in motion. That's number 84, Jamar Shelton, who's had a pretty good day today. 3-step drop, letting it open, surveys again, and finds him. Oh, great touchdown, cut both feet in bounds. Great job. This sent Jamar in motion. Defense didn't forgot about him as he ran past the safeties, and Philadelphia trying to get back into this contest. Great throw there.
And that's a great way to do it. fighting back, getting a huge completion over the middle of the field. I want to see that one again. My goodness. Shelton seemed like he was in the air for 10 seconds, like gliding in the air. Made a huge catch and left just enough room to get his feet down. That's exactly what you want to see in the back of the end zone. And that is a nice start to get back into it for Philadelphia. You just got to keep it going to the defensive side of the ball.
Only down 10. Plenty of time left in this game for Philadelphia to get back into it. But it all starts with on the defensive side of the ball. They got to get stops.
They do indeed. Still a 2-possession game. But if you're Boston, got to keep your foot on the gas.
Brought in about the 18-yard line, brought upfield, and a nice return for Boston, Joey Hightower with the return.
Yeah, now, if you're Boston, you're probably going to see a little bit more running the ball. Try and chew off. I mean, it's not in that fourth quarter yet. You're not home free by any means. Maybe see a few bit more runs, though. Try and chunk away at the clock, or it wouldn't surprise me if they just go for another huge play over the middle.
Gonna go empty here. Gun split pro. Gonna send a receiver in motion out to the right side. That's Curtis Friesen. Look out for him. We called his name a few times, but it's gonna be a draw. And look at Bismarck Wright. Give him to the business. Lowers his shoulders. Pick up an extra couple of yards. Gonna be 2nd down and 3.
Just a tough physical run. What else do you expect by such a big body in the backfield? Not gonna go down easily. And that's that running the ball that we talked about. Gonna keep that clock moving by any means they can.
Keeps Bismarck in the game. He doesn't need rest. Going to be a delay out to the back. Who's looking to get back to the line of scrimmage. May have lost half a yard with no rest on the carry.
Yeah, Aaron Collins did a really good job reading that kind of delayed handoff like you had said, and just knew exactly where to be to make the big play.
Ace trips, 3rd down. You can hear the Philadelphia crowd getting crazy, trying to route up this defense to make a play. Can they do it? 5-step drop, left-handed quarterback looks over, time runs out on him, and that ball is almost caught, but dropped. Great play made by the defenses of this Philadelphia crowd. Great job getting off the field. Eden Moss with the pass breakup.
And there it is. That's that coaching adjustment. They went back to it again. That was another route to Mike Kleinecht over the middle of the field, but that time, Eaton Moss was there to get another pass deflection. Had himself one last week, and that one was huge. Would have gave him a 1st down and so.
Oh, serious, and it's going to be caught, picked up, in return for a touchdown. Boston looking to put this game away. Philadelphia only down 10, getting the ball back, but hold the phone as they blunder this fumble return. This kickoff return. It's picked up by Boston and returned for a touchdown. And you can hear a pin drop in the stadium right now after that play.
Yeah, that was such a short-lived celebration.
Yes.
My goodness. That's gotta hurt. And shout out to the Boston Special Teams unit. They really struggled last week. And clearly the work they put in has worked, because they completely flipped what they did last week and have now given Philadelphia their 2nd fumble on special teams, and that one for a score.
It's hard enough as is to put up points, but when your special teams unit adds to that spark, it makes things that much easier.
Yep.
Philadelphia on the return here, kind of runs to his own man. He's going to get tackled about the 29-yard line. And while they got to pick up the pieces here, because Philadelphia was starting to build up some momentum here, but lost it all in one play.
Yeah, it's got to be so heart-wrenching. You know, I'm not an offensive player, but I can only imagine being ready to go onto the field. You're about to get that punt returned, go onto the field, make a big play, and then they fumble it and they score. It has to be such a dagger to the chest. Yeah. I can only imagine, but you got to just bounce back and continue chipping away. Yep, exactly.
Triple right look. Going to be a handoff to the back. Frank Udon continues to put in work. Picks up 6.
Yeah, just another physical run. And while you can do it, because come that fourth quarter, you're not going to have much time to run the ball.
Yeah.
So while you can get those runs in, because you certainly want to utilize UDON while you can.
Going to be a run off to the right and goes absolutely nowhere. Morgan Brown continues to prove that he's the right man for you at the next level.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. I like that. I mean, just solid, just really solid. It's just tough, I think, is the best way to describe him.
Go down, 3rd down and 4, and Boston's defense complements their special teams unit and finds a way to get this Philadelphia team off of the field. Great play there on 3rd and short.
Yeah, and Barron went, oh my goodness, putting his full body weight, just pancaking Mike Skamizniak into the turf. Oh, that one had to hurt, and it was only a matter of time before this Boston defensive line started getting their sack numbers up.
It's unfortunate because, as we just talked about, Philadelphia is starting to build momentum, but that's the special teams blunder, and getting stopped there on 3rd down gets the ball right back to Boston.
Yeah, I mean, momentum is such a tricky thing to play with because you work so hard building it up, and it can literally take one play and it's gone in a matter of seconds. And that sort of play that we saw, that scoop and score, is that exact type of play that would do it.
We've seen it at both levels, in the pros and here in the SFL minor leagues. Sometimes all it takes is one play to make the difference of a game.
That is right.
I mean, a toss out to the near side and going nowhere as the Northwest. In fact, she loses 3 yards.
I think that was L.J. Hobbs, who had himself another big tackle for loss earlier in the game. Gets another one there, and that's a good start to stopping Boston, but here they go. 4 out wide. Let's hope they can cover the middle of the field.
Quads look, 2 and 2. 5-step drop left. Time runs out on, and down goes Dakota West that time, as Philadelphia's defense is trying their best to get them back in this game.
They are, and they're doing a good job of it. 57 gets in the backfield, just barreling through the offensive line and dragging Dakota West down. That is you know what they say, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, and at 6'8", Dakota West got to go down like a tree.
Put your fours up, ladies and gentlemen, as we're going to start this 4th quarter. Philadelphia trying to get their defense off the field. And I don't know about you, DJ, but let me ask you a question. How many likes do we have in this game right now on this YouTube channel? That was a rhetorical question. Don't even bother answering, because the answer is not enough. Smash the like, folks, everyone, and help support the league and support the brand.
Absolutely.
3rd down and forever for Boston. Looking to convert here. Got to be careful with the football at this point. Going to be a man defense. That ball is somehow completed and falls just short of the 1st down. That's Curtis Friesen. I don't know about you, DJ, but that one might deserve a second look.
I think it should, because these Zebras really don't like Curtis Friesen right now. Clearly. I don't know if I mean, there you go. As we expected, they had that one on the goal line earlier, that beautiful one-handed catch, and another great catch in traffic, and they want to call him short. And I imagine after your second catch like that, you go to your coach on the sideline, you were like, throw that challenge, because I got the yards to gain.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. And that he gained, hit that 1st down by about a length of the football.
Yep, I agree with you. Unless that knee got down, it's going to be...
Closer than I thought. Well, let's see what they say. And the play stands again.
Wow.
Curtis Friesen is just not having his share of good luck today.
Not at all. Just, you waste the timeout. I mean, the situation Boston's in, unless there's a huge comeback, you're not really going to need it. But still, losing that challenge has got to hurt. And punting it, I always say I have a gambler's mind. If it was me, I'd probably go for this, but probably making the smartest decision, punting it away, pinning them deeper than they would be if they didn't get the first.
Up 17, they elect to punt, and Philadelphia fields the ball at about the 26-yard line, and that magic, should it occur today, has to start right now.
Yeah, we just gotta You just got to hope for Philadelphia's sake that Philadelphia can come back and score right now, because the way those Philly citizens have been riding, a loss for the Cougars, I imagine, could only make it worse.
Totally agree with you. First down and 10 going to be a give to Frank Udon, who muscles his way, runs over a couple defenders, and picks up 7 yards.
My goodness, it's just he just runs people over. You know what I mean? There's not a better. You don't gotta sugarcoat it. You don't gotta spice it up. It's just tough, physical, painful football for the defenders of Boston anytime Udon gets the ball.
The give off to the right side. They're going to pick up a first down and more as the running back continues to set no for an answer, and Rashawn Williams picks up about 8 yards.
Yeah, I mean, just 2 broken tackles on that one. Getting off of Morgan Brown, who, we've called their name several times for huge plays. And Rashawn Williams getting a huge gain for Philadelphia.
He's only had 7 carries thus far, but he's making the most of his opportunities every time he's giving it the rock.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gonna be delayed right up the middle, and look at this yet again. We keep calling his name. Frank Udon picks up another 7 yards. He reminds me of Chicago Bear running back who used to play for us, who used to always tell the fans, if you need 2 yards, I'll pick up 3. If you need 4 yards, I'll pick up 3.
Yeah, he's gotta. It's just that, those short yardage, you always got to have a guy that, if it's in those short yardage, situations, they're going to get it.
Oh, nice cut. Don't tell me that young man isn't ready for the pros. You see that cut? He made 2 nice cuts to pick up that first down. I thought there was going to be a gain of about a yard. But the niftiness behind the wheels of Rashawn Williams, he picks up the first.
Yeah, it's like slipping a thread through the eye of a needle. Rashawn Williams and that was not, I wouldn't have seen it. Just almost eyes in the side of your head, able to see open field, cut completely away from where you're going, and keep your speed, is just really, really impressive.
Frank Udon, they're going to say picked up a yard. Looked like he got stopped for nothing, but second down and 9 it is. Bunch formation, 3 receivers off to the left. Gonna be a 3-step drop, gets the ball out, and it's completed to the long receiver lineup to the near side of the field, and Shelton moves the chains for Philadelphia once more.
Yeah, Shelton getting some more work, had that touchdown catch earlier in the back of the end zone. That's just a nice play by Skamizniak, dissecting that zone defense and finding the receiver just, right in between them. You got the underneath backer and the topside safety. You see it on almost every coverage play out there, just little different variations of it, and that time they did exactly what they needed to exploit it.
Frank Udon, a give, gonna mark him for a gain of about 3 yards. You just saw Mike's numbers there, 3 TDs, had the 1 blemish early in this ball game, but other than that, he's had a fantastic game thus far.
Yeah, has really done a nice job bouncing back after last week's loss and iffy performance to really put a number on the game.
Great job on the offensive line holding up, and it gives him enough time to find his target, Sheldon, for the second time on this drive.
I really like what Philadelphia is doing right now. They've kind of realized that, hey, we can't run the ball forever. Despite it working, it's not getting enough yards to where we can rely on it because they don't have too much time. You have to kind of rely on the pass game more, and they've done a nice job switching to it, and it's working.
Worked for Shelton for over 100 yards on this day. Strong eye wing jokers, I believe this set is going to be a toss out to that strong side. Great block by his fullback. Can he cut up field score? He does! Frank Udon completes the drive with a rushing touchdown off to his left, complemented by great blocking by his offensive line and his fullback.
Yeah, that one had me on the edge of my seat. 21 out there trying to run ahead, get a block, not able to make one, but Udon just keeps going along the edge. The first tackler, I should say, just dives at the feet, misses, and it's hard to keep up enough momentum to get around that edge, but Frank Udon did it and was able to beat the defenders to the pylon.
Every aspect of this game matters. Offense, defense, and special teams. You take away those 2 blunders that Philadelphia had with those 2 dropped punt returns. We're looking at a tie game here, but be that as it may, there's no time for ifs, ands, or buts. They're down 10. They got to make something happen here on defense.
Yep, they do. That Philadelphia defensive unit has got to make another big play. Whenever they minimize the big plays from Boston, oh goodness. Oh, that one looked scary for a little bit.
Should Boston hang on to win this game, I tell you what, their special teams coach better get a game ball because they have performed fantastic tonight.
Yeah, and they've really bounced back because last week, yeah, I would have said it was the reason that they lost to New York, or at least a big part of it. But now, they've completely changed that. Yeah, absolutely.
Down 10, Philadelphia is. Boston trying to milk this clock out. 6:07 left in the fourth. A set, 2 tight ends on the field, gonna get the ball out to his tight end.
Oh!
Turns and gets upfield. Are you serious?
Oh,
it remains inbounds. The big guy, Mike, stays inbounds. Don't tell me this young man, my goodness. I tell you what, they got him listed at 6'5", 227, but he turned that quarter as if he's about 6'5", 180.
Yeah, I don't know how I can't wrap my head around how such a large human being is that shifty, and he looked like a trapeze artist walking on a tightrope.
Yes, he did. That's a great analysis. A set again, 2 tight ends on the field. Thought they were going to run it, but they attempted to come out guns blazing and pass the ball. Let's see what they do here. This time they are going to run. It's going to be a draw play right up the gut. Picks up about 7 yards for Boston is Jacob Brewer. Haven't caught his name in a while, but he's been effective every time we caught his name.
Yeah, and you know, Boston is really going pass heavy, but I will say their running game's looking a lot better than it did last week. Both runners, besides Bismarck Wright, averaged 2.4 yards per carry last week. And now they're just bouncing back really well.
Gonna be a counter, and this one goes nowhere. A gain of about a yard, gonna set up 3rd down and 1, and Philadelphia has got to find a way to get their defense off the field.
Yeah, you've got to. Got to try. I mean, a tackle for loss would be great. Push Boston back enough to where they don't feel like they can go for it. That'd be huge right now.
Man, defense going to be a counter play. And they try to bounce to the outside, and they do not get there. Tackle for a loss on the play, I believe, about a half a yard. And Philadelphia's defense does their job. Going to force a punt. But wait, hold the phone. 4th down and 1, and should they not convert, they're going to be in great field position. Let's see if they can hold here. Man defense, 4-4 defense here. It's going to be 4-3. A game about a half a yard is needed. It's going to be a counter play. Up the gut they go. And they're going to fall short of the line of gain, and stepping up to make the play for Philadelphia is the cornerback, the safety, Kronk Worthy, come all the way up from about 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage, comes up and makes the play to get his team off the field.
Wow, that was huge. Boston, they went in, they got that 5-6 deal. They went double down, go for the 4th down, and just unable to get it. Kronkworthy knew that run was coming, knew right where to be, and made a huge play for Philadelphia.
3-step drop, but they almost give it right back to Boston. Jimmy Hatz is right there to make the play, but hit him in both mitts, and unfortunately he couldn't come up with it.
Oh gosh, I mean it is so crucial right now for Philadelphia. It's kind of been the rhetoric of this whole game for them right now is cutting out those mistakes. You can not have one right now. There is no if, ands, or buts. You cannot. You have to play perfect football. They have a chance. They just have to play perfect.
Doubles left, 3 receivers and a tight end on the field. Going to be a 3-step drop. Right-handed quarterback finds a wide-open receiver across the middle of the field. Going to move the chains for Philadelphia. They still have life. Goosebusters. Who you going to call? Goosebusters with the reception.
Yeah, another one right over the middle, barreling over the defender. I mean, they're doing a great job. You've got to keep this momentum going. They make the huge stop on 4th down. And you just got to keep the momentum going right across the 50. Let's see.
Oh, and he has a
Oh,
receiver, and that ball is batted away. Great D. I'm not sure if that ball was batted away if it was dropped, but nonetheless, guess who was in coverage? Morgan Brown.
yep. Who would have guessed? Another great play from Brown. We'll give Brown the benefit of the doubt, say that they got their hand on it, but
Let's go with that.
yeah, nonetheless, incomplete. Stopping the clock.
Gonna send a man in motion. 2nd down and 10. Gotta have it here right now. Gonna be a 3-step drop. Finds his receiver over the middle to a completed pass. Gonna be knocked down at 30. They're gonna go hurry up.
Oh, here
there
we
on the
go.
reception. Jamar Shelton with another catch. 5-step drop. Looks over the defense. Time runs out.
Oh.
The ball is somehow caught. Wow, and marked down at about the 9-yard line for Philadelphia. Toby Bonnets on the reception.
Oh, here we go. We're getting crazy and quick
Triple
now.
up, 3-step drop, but that ball is somehow caught.
Oh.
It busts its way to the end zone for a touchdown. Are you serious? Philadelphia is still in this ball game. Jonathan Kilgore with a touchdown over the outstretched hands of the defense.
Wow. Philadelphia, after some shaky drives this half, just takes control of that one. Finds a look they like in the hurry-up offense, hurries it up over and over, and they find Jonathan Kilgore for the touchdown. What a way to keep your hopes alive if you are Philadelphia. Now all you need is another big stop from your defense, and they could completely turn this game on its head.
This game looked all but over once Boston scored after that special teams debacle by Philadelphia here a moment ago. But Philadelphia continues to fight back. They have no quit in them, and they just continue to fight and drive and push and take advantage of these opportunities. Now, they need to come up with a stop here late in the 4th.
Yeah, fight, Philly, fight. You got to keep fighting no matter what, regardless of if they win or lose. Now, of course, a win would be fantastic. That's what they're here for. But they've done a really good job. They're showing a lot of heart out there, and you just gotta see it through. Try and make another big stop.
Curtis Friesen with the return out to the 30-yard line, and right now, the biggest enemy of Boston is this clock. They want to milk this clock, but they've had more success going through the air lately. So let's see how aggressive they get here, trying to close out this game. Ace trips look, 2 receivers out to the near side of the field, going left to right. So you looking at home, that ball is thrown and falls incomplete man-to-man coverage, but that ball is batted down by this Philadelphia defense. Eden Moss with another pass breakup.
Yep, Eddie, I don't know about you. I saw that seam route go upfield. I saw the ball go to it. I clenched the arms of my chair, leaned forward, and thankfully for Philadelphia, incomplete. Oh, that was scary. Boston just got to try and get the first down, and it's going to be close to game over if they can.
Joey Hightower goes in motion to the near side. Going to be a 3-step drop, and wide open is the receiver. Mike Connect shoves a man down to the ground, makes another man miss before finally being brought down. And what a big play, because I thought it was going to be a gain of about 4 yards, but he turns around, muscles his way upfield, and gets a big first down for Boston.
Yeah, it's been he had that that ball went to him last time, and I think this is one of those scenarios where you don't hold on to the ball, or, something happens, and you go back into the huddle, you look at your quarterback, and you say, get me the ball. We're getting this first down, and we're getting out of here with a win. And Mike Kleinecht might have just done that for Boston. I mean, Philadelphia still has 3 timeouts, and they still have this 2-minute warning. 4 timeouts, basically, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. They just need a stop.
You're going to send Mike in motion here to the near side, going right to left for those of you listening at home. Going to be a 5-step drop, gets the ball out very quick, and that ball is somehow caught and brought down by Mike. I tell you what, if the SFL still had a draft, he'd be moving up those draft boards pretty darn quickly right now.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's so many good pass catchers in the minor leagues, but as far as tight ends goes, there's a few gems hidden in that bunch, and Mike Kleinecht is certainly looking like one of them.
2-minute warning here in the 4th quarter. Philadelphia's defense trying to get out the field. 2nd down and 2. For Boston, come out in this odd joker's look. 2 tight ends on the field. 4-4 defense. for Philadelphia. They're going to run to that strong side on the counter play. They're going to pick up the first down. First down, Boston. I couldn't tell. It looked like that was Bismarck Wright going to carry, but I couldn't get his number.
Wouldn't surprise me in that short yards to gain. That's what I would have done. I'm sure that's what you would have done too.
Yeah,
give it to Bismarck Wright, get that short yards to gain, and now they got Lenore West back out there.
Yes.
I can only imagine they're going to keep running this clock.
Lenore West in the backfield. Eye jokers look. Going to send Mike in motion. Better put an eye on him.
No, absolutely. Anytime he's moving, you got to watch him.
Going to be a give to the back, Lenore West, and she's going to fight the defense and somehow picks up 7 yards to the dismay of this Philadelphia defense.
Yeah, that one kind of shocked me. I thought that was going to be right at the line, but Lenore West did a great job of seeing all that, commercial traffic, bouncing it to the outside and getting a lot more to gain.
Second and short. Trying to run this clock out. Can they do it? Lenore West on the carry, and she goes absolutely nowhere. A gain of nothing. Going to set up a 3rd down and 3. Philadelphia still has life.
I got to give some flowers to Aaron Collins. He's been doing a super job on these short running attacks, being able to stop them in their tracks. If I'm not mistaken, he got that 4th down stop earlier and got another big one there.
3rd and 3. 4-4 Bear defense. Going to be a give, and going to fight and pick up the first down. Lenore West pretty much breaks the hearts of the Philadelphia faithful.
Yeah, that's basically the game there. I mean, that's got to be the checkmate or pretty close to it. Yeah, looks like it. They're going to get in that victory V formation, and that's going to be all she wrote.
Out of timeouts. And for Boston, Dakota West goes into the favorite formation for Boston here in this situation, victory formation. Milking this clock for all it's worth. Going to spike it with about 2 seconds left on the clock. There it is. Excuse me. Going to down it right there. Going to lose about a yard, but the yardage right now is not what's important. They're just trying to make this clock out, DJ.
Yeah, they do. And I think they'll have it down by 4th down. And if you're Philadelphia, you've got to be going out of this one kicking yourself. Boston going to get their 2nd win on the season.
Both against Philadelphia.
Both. Yeah, exactly. Both against Philadelphia.
Sometimes team just has your number.
Absolutely. Yep. And we're seeing a perfect example of that in this one. I mean, there's a big clump of these SFLm teams, up in the Northeast. You got New York, you got Philly, you got Boston, and those are just some of the biggest rivalries in sports. We know Boston and New York; those guys do not like each other. They do not, and we see that in these SFLm games. And maybe, after 2 losses from Philly, maybe we see something brewing in the water as far as the rivalry goes.
So Boston is going to take this one. The final score, 38-35 in a shootout. This game started out as a defensive-minded contest for about a quarter and a half before both offenses woke the hell up and got going. It seemed like neither team could stop the other. But to me, like you said, the difference in this game was special teams. It cost Boston a win just a week ago. They came in, worked hard at it, forced 2 fumbles by the Philadelphia special teams unit. And that turned out to be the difference in this game.
Yeah, it absolutely did. Those big special teams plays and the huge just chunk plays, big plays, that's really what it came down to.
Absolutely. Mike Connect.
Wow.
A star in the making.
Goodness gracious.
How many tight ends can run down the field and not pass out from heat exhaustion or some sort?
Not a whole lot. Now, I got to say it. He had 10 yards last week, Eddie.
Not so much this week. It's a game of inches week in and week out, and sometimes it comes down just a play or two. But nonetheless, that's gonna do it for us over here in SFL Nation. For myself, for DJ, for Alex West, for Cam, everybody in league headquarters who makes this thing go each and every week, week in and week out. I personally cannot thank them enough. I'm not sure what hobby I would have if it wasn't for this one. I gave up riding motorcycles for this hobby, and I love every last minute of it. But yo, Appreciate you guys, everyone who tuned in, whether it's live or in memories like they say back in the day. For DJ, for myself, we about to get up out of here, y'all. And until next week, well, until the weekend, I should say, we got more SFL action coming on in just a few days, you guys. Stay tuned, because the grind does not stop. But DJ, for myself, and everybody else up in here, we out of here, y'all. Peace.